Let's talk.
Hi, folks. I'm Stefan.
And I'm Cheryl, and we are the Jameses.
Welcome to the Love Seek podcast. We are so excited that you have joined us here on this platform. And if you're coming to us for the first time, hey, go listen to some of our other podcasts. We'll be rolling them out as we go through this thing.
Yes, and if you're returning, welcome back. And we hope you didn't come alone. We want you to make sure that you're sharing this wonderful opportunity with other couples, because here is our goal, is to create a space and a place for everybody, husbands and wives, to come in, and this community becomes a community where we are all striving to be the best version of ourselves.
So go visit all of our platforms and become a Love Seat ambassador. We want you to get others to join us on this journey to a happy, healthy marriage so that you can be the best version of yourself.
Because here's what we believe, that every marriage has a 100% chance of being successful if both parties, husband and wife, are willing to do the work.
That's it. So, Cheryl, let's take it to the love seat.
Let's go. I hope you're ready. We're ready. So today's topic is mine, yours, and ours. That's something you hear quite a bit in marriage, or before people actually get married.
Yes,
we start trying to evaluate what's mine, what's yours, what's ours. And so our marriage was no different. We had to look at it. We are both mature in age.
Yes.
And so we have different business avenues. We have different opportunities that we operate in. And so we had to jump in and try to, number one, evaluate that.
Yes, we did.
Number two, figure that out and determine where we would fit in each other's lives.
We have to unpack this, guys, because here's the thing. Life is busy right now, and people are getting married later and later in life. And I need to speak from the man's perspective on this.
And I have the female perspective covered, y'all.
Yeah. So what we had to face was, I had a business. I had several businesses. I had a lot of things going on. But my wife was a professional also.
Mhm.
She had business. She had ministry. She was traveling. She was doing all these things. And one of the big questions I had was, how were we going to fit all of this together? Because I was getting married. I wanted a wife. But I had to recognize that her purpose, her call, who she was already established before I showed up. God put things in her to do and to be and to become that didn't get canceled when I showed up.
So let me ask this. So you didn't expect me to give up the things that I was doing in order to be your wife?
I didn't expect you to give them up. I expected to be able to figure out how that what you were doing, what I was doing, could be enhanced with one another. So therein becomes the kicker. It becomes yours.
Mm-hmm.
I get to see what you're doing.
Yes.
I get to see what you're good at. I get to see what you flourish in. I get to see what you are making happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I can add some value and enhance that, then that becomes, let me give you a good example.
Okay.
I'm in real estate. I'm in building. I'm doing all of these things.
Yes.
You didn't know very much about that.
Still do not. But I'm learning. I am learning. The world is fascinating.
But I was getting ready to do a house remodel and get it ready to sell. Unbeknownst to me, you come in, take the project, and make it better than I could have ever imagined.
You know, because I was educated through HGTV.
Oh, God.
All of those that have a diploma from
Almost
HGTV.
cost me, by the way, y'all.
That I watch it all the time. So now I think that I can remodel and I can decorate and I can do all of those different things. So it allowed me to play a role in what was yours. There were things about it that I didn't understand and probably will never understand, but I found space in your place.
Oh, look out now. See how she plays on words like that? I love the way she does that. Here's the thing. The focus has to be that I have mine,
Mm-hmm.
you have yours, but then we have ours.
Because in mine, as I pastor, as I do consultant work, when I get to see that there's a topic that I know you are just amazing in, I get to say, babe, can you come teach this?
Come on.
Babe, can
Come
you
on.
come lead this? You know, I'm looking at this business plan. What do we need to do with that? So then again, in my place, you then have space. And here's the thing I love. Can I have a transparent moment with you all? Okay, so because we're mature in our age, that means that, you know, other people have crossed my path that shared interests. And here's when I knew they were not the ones.
Come on.
When they tried to change what I was doing or counsel what I was doing. That says, you know, I know this is your career or this is your call or this is where you are, but you're going to have to give that up in order to be with me. You know what I said? That must not be the one. But can I tell y'all when I knew that this wonderful man sitting beside me was the one? When he looked at everything that I was operating in, all of the gifts that I had, all of the things that God had called me to do, all of the doors that education had brought me. And he acknowledged it first of all.
Come on.
And he says, I don't want you to stop doing what you're doing. How can I help you do what you do better? Now, y'all know I was hooked right there when a brother didn't ask me to give up my stuff, but he said, I'm going to help you do that. Because again, I felt that he saw me, that he respected what was mine, and he saw how we could take what's mine and his, and we could even step into what's ours. So he didn't try to counsel me or minimize me. He said, I'm here to enhance what you're doing, and I acknowledge that. That's huge. Because here's the thing, you know what? I think everybody needs their thing.
Oh, now
Everybody needs
let's
something.
go talk about that. See, here's the thing. We have to get past competition and get to complimenting.
Oh, that's good.
We need to be the
Yes.
one that comes alongside to complement what the other person is doing.
Right.
So here's what's going to happen. As we grow this thing, we talk about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a thing
Mm-hmm.
and we trying to build a thing, you're going to put so much focus on that thing, you're going to wonder, but I see, here's the thing. If you don't have a thing, but I have a thing, and
And I want your thing.
we're trying to create a thing, you're going to start having some covetousness towards what I'm doing. And you want to say, well, why are you caring about that? Why are you spending time on that? And we begin
Absolutely.
to get in competition with one another because we're comparing their thing to us. And that should never be the case.
Because God put amazing things in all of us.
And even the scriptures tell us that we both have to be about the purpose of God for our life.
Yes.
And that's why it encourages us. Don't let there be anxiousness. Do you
No.
know you can be jealous and envious in your marriage?
You sure can. And
Hey.
we counsel couples, and we hear that. You
All
know,
the
where
time.
they are doing this or they're doing that. Because oftentimes one party does not have a thing.
A thing
They're
that
not
gives-
walking in their purpose that gives them value. So then I covet what you have, or I compete with what you're
you
doing.
have.
Now
And I
again,
tell you
Mhm.
that, oh, you must care more about that than me. That's just coming from an insecurity
and an empty
bred
place.
and a bred out of a lack of significance
Mhm.
and a lack of fulfillment.
So when we say, do I have to give up my thing? No. Or should my spouse give up their thing? No.
No.
Let's celebrate the fact that you have a thing or a purpose and you're walking in that I'm walking in my purpose. And then we see how we can bring something together on purpose.
All right. So what we're saying is you have to be willing to adjust, but not give up yourself.
Absolutely.
No one comes together in God and is asked to give up. The only thing we give up ourselves for is for Christ.
Yes.
But for each other, we find the complementary places where we can enhance and grow and develop. Cheryl and I, as she said earlier, we love to do things together.
Yes.
We love to hang out together and stuff. But we determine anytime our doing something together sabotages what the other needs to be intentional on and giving their time to, will never cause that to be an issue between us.
And how do we do that? We do that through consulting with one
Oh,
another.
come on. Let's talk about that.
We do that with being
Giving
considerate
considerate
of one another. We got to give that consideration. So we're not saying, to jump and say, well, this is my thing and I'm going to do it. No, when you bring that together, then we have to see how it can work together. That if I'm making a decision for business, or if I have an opportunity, if I'm having to go out of town or you're having to go out of town, it affects the other. So we have to communicate about that and said, okay, what do I need to do to help you to be able to do what you do well? What do you need to do to help me be able to do what I do well? Sometimes we have to make adjustments.
Yes.
Okay. We don't cancel each other's assignment, but we have to make adjustments, because that's what, here's one of my favorite words, partnership is all about. Just because you get married, it does not make you partners. You have to work at becoming partners.
Knowing what each person brings,
Mhm.
what each person is good at, what each person can accentuate. Because remember, it's mine, it's yours, and then it's ours. Now, ours is the centerpiece of this.
Yes.
And so we have to protect our relationship with one another. But I want to put a challenge out there, especially to the men. If I may.
Okay.
What are you doing to protect the purpose in your wife?
Oh, that's good.
God's purpose in your wife. What are you doing to give it vent, to give it an expression, to make sure that it never gets canceled?
And then wives, what are you bringing to the table? I hear some individuals say, well, I don't have to bring nothing. I'm just going to show up. No, that does not contribute to partnership. Everybody's
But
bringing
I don't have
something.
anything to give. Can you be a cheerleader?
Yes.
Can you be an encourager? Can you be the one that creates an environment where there's no tension? You have something to bring.
And it may not look like what your partner is bringing. Before I can expect you to value what I bring, I have to value what I bring.
Come on, say that again.
When I come
say
to the
that
table,
again.
I'm coming saying, here's what I have. Here's what I can contribute. Can I go back to the house we were trying to prepare? He did all of the, the real estate, the business part. And I come to say, I can help with decorating. I can help with sorting that out. But if I didn't recognize that I could do that, then that would not have been done.
Let's go a little bit further.
Okay.
Attitude towards it.
Mm-hmm.
It was more work than what you thought.
Honey, being part of this James crew, I just didn't know. I didn't know it was all. I mean, you probably can identify with that. When you get married, you don't know all. That's why you have to study. You have to learn. You don't know all of your gifts and talents that you are going to use. So it was challenging, but it helped me to tap into what I could do, and the attitude, because this is Team James all day, all the way.
Oh, come on.
So I'm like, if you're in it and I have something that I can contribute, we're going to do this together. Because here's what I learned. I could have sat back and said, this is too hard for me. He can have this. But because I'm Team James and I understand the power of ours, and that I was even welcomed into this place and this space, you got to show up. In marriage, you have to show up. It's not just about the goosebumps and the googly eyes and all of that. No. How can I enhance what you're doing? How do you enhance what I'm doing? And how do we build what we're doing?
Let me celebrate my wife, guys, because on that house, one night we pulled an all-nighter.
All night.
We had been there since the day before, and we saw the sun come up that next morning.
But we saw it come up on the projects that we finished together. We saw progress. We got this done, babe. We did that together.
And sometimes my wife, y'all got to know her. She loves looking good. She cute as a button, and she will let you know it. But here's the thing. She'll have preached on a Sunday, come home, change clothes, put on boots, and do and what's that thing you put on your head to keep it from getting bugs
I
in it?
don't know what you're talking about, babe.
When we had to go walk the
I know you
mountain.
trying to say a do-rag. Yes, yes, I wear a do-rag. Yes, when the opportunity presents itself and the situation calls for it, I wear a do-rag.
But that wasn't my point, baby. My point was you went out, walked in the mud, and followed me up a mountain because that was what was next.
And you know why? Because he sat in my thing.
Yeah.
It was now time to go to his thing. And then we get to a place where it was our thing.
Let us give you some rules that you need to take away from this. Mine, yours, and ours. Number one, yours should never sabotage mine. Number two, yours is not to be compared to mine. There's no bigger or little, well, I do all of this. No, your thing, whatever your purpose is, it's gargantuan.
Absolutely.
Because it means something to you. It gives you fulfillment. Number three, yours doesn't get to be more important or than us or ours, but it is to be valued.
Because it all matters. It all plays a role. You know, if we're in the house and something needs to be done, you know, we'll all just jump in and do it. I don't say, well, that's what he's supposed to do or that's what I'm supposed to do, because we give everything value. It doesn't matter. So I don't have to belittle your part and make mine greater, and you don't have to make yours greater and belittle mine. All of it matters. You know, if you wash the dishes and I cook, or if you cook and I wash the dishes.
Well, typically what happens is when I cook, she get that sleeping thing going, and then babe, I'm gonna come help you.
But we're talking about the times when I do it.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll let that.
So
run.
we do that. We do it together, and it doesn't make cooking more important than washing the dishes.
Both are
They
important.
both are
Because
important.
our goal is that we get to be back together and have all that done. Number 4 is yours must be known and understood by your spouse.
And appreciate it.
And appreciate. See, sometimes we make it the spouse's job to why you ain't find out what I was doing, why you didn't know. Well, why didn't you explain it?
Yeah, let's
Why didn't you
communicate
take
that.
time and communicate that? And lastly, whenever what yours is changes, be sure to communicate it as soon as possible. Don't let your spouse find out something has changed with you that they didn't know about. That's inconsiderate, and that's not building. Mine, yours, and then ours.
Now that's powerful. We have to keep each other informed. We have to make sure that we empower each other to be able to support, to help, to encourage, to play a role. But I love you keep saying that. We have to take on the responsibility to do that. If this marriage is going to be great, we are the ones that get to make it great.
That's it.
So there are things that we can follow, tools that we can use in order to be the best version of ourselves. So is it okay to have yours? Absolutely. Is it okay for me to have mine? Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Do we have the privilege to build ours? Absolutely.
And know what complements your spouse's thing. Figure out, ask yourself, what in me can complement what she's got?
Because being with me just makes you better.
Come on now.
Me being with you just makes me better.
And sometimes you just need me to hold things down while you do your thing.
Oh, that is so good,
Because if I
babe.
hold things down while you do your thing, you bring back all that thing to make it happen back here at the house.
And wives, we hold it down too. There's nothing better than being held down by your spouse, that you holding it for me, that we are doing this together. And why can we do it? Because we're constantly considering one another. We are consulting one another. We're communicating. These are no hidden agendas.
And figuring out how best
How
to
to make it
serve
work
one
together.
another.
So what's your assignment? Because we always give you a challenge. Yeah. He laid out how you operate in the yours and mine and ours, but we always do that thoughtfully. Yes. And we bathe it in goodwill. Yes. And we let love flow through it. So your challenge to this week is to go be great as a couple.
As a couple, find your thing,
And you find your thing.
and we get our thing.
That's your assignment. Thank you for joining us here on The Love Seat. We would love to hear from you. We want you, if you have any questions,
Or if you want to get some topics that you want us to talk about,
or you want to tell us that you're really enjoying what's happening here,
you can text us at 423-401-8972, or
you can
go to our website.
Absolutely,
CherylAndStephron.com.
We really, really would love to hear what's on your heart. Put it on our heart, and let's put it on the air.
Please join us on our website at CherylAndStephron.com. We are on Facebook.
We're on Instagram. We're just out there.
We out there everywhere.
So we want you to find us and join us, because remember, you are joining in with other husbands and wives, and we are forming a community of marriages that are becoming failure proof. So we love you. Until next time, we'll see you
Peace out. We'll see you the next time.
on The Love Seat.
Yeah.